Escaping prison isn't an easy task to do.
Oh shit.
Some attempts being so horrible they had to end up here. So let's start with number 8, The Human Stain. You ever want to be the main character of a movie after watching it? Like Batman or Superman? Well, in Brazil a man thought it would be a good idea to try and replicate the escape of Shawshank Redemption. You know, the one where he escapes through a sewer. Not realizing that movies are made up, he tried to escape in the same way. And as you can imagine, it didn't go as planned. Jumping into the sewage hole head first, he only managed to get 2 feet away from his cell before becoming, well, you guessed it, stuck. If he considered his goal to be covered in human waste, he definitely succeeded, being absolutely covered from head to toe. And it doesn't end there. Being horribly stuck and practically naked with only a pair of tighty whities, well, not really white anymore. He had to be lifted out by 2 cellmates.
It smells like shit. Yeah, no shit.
If that were me, I'm sorry, but your stanky ass is staying in that dookie castle. You can find his video online trying to wiggle down the pipe and his 2 mates lifting him out. Number 7. Snoopy and his accomplice. On May 10th, 2010, in the Isle of Wight off the coast of England, prison guards came across some wild intruders. The leader of the 2 started trying to break down the door to enter the prison, and to the guards' surprise, they were dressed as Snoopy. Yeah, Snoopy the dog from Charlie Brown. They didn't take them very seriously until they revealed their gun.
Guys. Whoa, shit.
A water gun, that is, which was later found out. They were trying to break a family member out of jail, and to make matters even worse, they were breaking into the wrong one. About 1,000 feet away was another jail that the family member was actually in. They realized they had gone to the wrong jail after some time spent throwing rocks and taunting their fake gun. They were captured and held afterwards for a mental health assessment. Now, what would Charlie Brown say about all this?
Good grief.
Number 6. Petty crime. In May 2016, in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Alexander Scaramastro was being transported to a treatment facility when all of a sudden his friend Luciano Ramos pulled up in a getaway car. Alex broke free of the guards and jumped into the car. While in the process of speeding away, they ran over one of the officers. At this point, they were in good looks, but it wasn't enough for them. They wanted the officers to be punished for, well, being officers. Stopping the car, Ramos ran into the police station across the street, screaming that he and his friend had just been attacked by some dudes trying to hijack his car. When the cops came out to investigate, they found that Alex was surrounded by probation officers. At this point, Ramos tells the cops he didn't know Alex was in jail, arguing that he was never a part of the plan. Which would have worked, except while Alex was being investigated, he showed the cops the text sent to Ramos announcing his plans to escape. Alex headed back to jail, and Ramos got 3 to 6 years for their failed escape. I'd be banging my head against the wall for that one. Number 5. A trashy plan. When you think of a trashy idea, you probably think they tried jumping off the roof or something. You thinking what I'm thinking? Aim for the bushes.
Watch him as he goes.
Which, now that I think of it, may have been a better idea. But this one was quite literally trash, as they tried escaping in a trash bag. In July 2012, Carlos Eduardo Barbosa and Sidney Nave da Cruz were held in Delegacia de Furtos prison in Brazil. Waiting till just after lunch, the 2 prisoners hopped in the trash bags, hiding themselves among the other bags filled with real trash. They hoped to be escorted out the prison with the paper plates and leftover food. The time came when the inspector was going to collect the bags, and 2 of the bags started moving. At first glance, he thought it was a rat, then realizing that it would be the world's largest rat. He checked it out further and realized that 2 grown men were just squirming around, which led them to be arrested very quickly. Needless to say, don't try escaping in garbage bags, unless you can actually stay still. Number 4. Red bottoms. At 39 years old, Brazilian Ronald Silva was arrested for suspected drug trafficking, so he decided to escape in what he thought was a perfect disguise. When his wife came to visit him, he requested a few items, being her clothes, and she complied, of course. Sylvia fitted his curves into her tight blue dress, put on a wig, her bra, nail polish, and some killer high heels. And to put the cherry on top, he even shaved his legs and arms. And so his wife starts walking out with Silva's shorts and another top she brought. Following her was Silva with his new look. They made it past the gates and even to the bus stop outside. Yet his plan failed when he attempted to walk to his getaway motorcycle, as his high heel game was lacking. The guards noticed his wobbly walk and how up close this woman wasn't as pretty as they thought she would be, and so they took him back inside. Let's just say his cross-dressing days were over as fast as they had started. Number 3. Bellyache. In 2012, Rafael Valadao pulled off the perfect prison break until his belly got in the way. Valadao broke a hole in the wall using a metal bar from a shower pipe, and he attempted to climb through. Mistakenly underestimating his size, he could only reach halfway through the hole as his belly got stuck and his lower half refused to be part of the crime. He fractured his rib while in his DIY hole and had to scream for help to the prison guards. To make matters even worse, when the guards arrived, they all started laughing and making fun of him.
Ha ha ha. What a dummy. That boy's too damn big.
He blocked 2 prisoners behind him, and one lucky prisoner, who decided to go first, escaped. I guess he must have been carrying the measuring tape. Firefighters eventually arrived to the scene to help Valadao out with his belly bad situation. Number 2. The Cabin. In June 2011, James Russell made a great escape out of the Olympic Correction Center in Washington, where he'd been serving time for theft and forgery. Running like a professional athlete, he found himself successfully alone in the woods, and almost home free. He found a cabin and decided to see if anyone who lived there had a phone he could use, which would have been a great plan, except when the person opened the door, it just happened to be a guard of the prison Russell had just escaped from. Russell still wearing the red jumpsuit from jail, the guard recognized him and tackled him. Russell managed to escape the guard's grasp, but since the guard did in fact have a phone, he let all the nearby guards know of the location of the prisoner. He was quickly caught and brought back to jail. Number 1. Yin Yang. On August 13th of 2013, in the Hamilton County Jail, a white prisoner, Kenneth Burnham, decided it was time to take a stand and break out of jail. When officers arrived to obtain an inmate named Glenn Taylor, who was about to be released on bond, Burnham stood up when Taylor's name was called. The officer immediately noticed he looked very different from his picture. Was it the nose? No. Was it the face? Maybe. Or maybe it was because Taylor was black. Obviously, Kenneth's plan was discovered real fast. After filling out multiple sheets under the wrong name, he was confronted on how the man scheduled to leave was black. And well, Kenneth wasn't. When asked what he was thinking, Burnham simply replied that he was being dumb, which there's no argument there. He was taken back to jail and charged with criminal impersonation and an attempt to escape. If you were to break out of prison, what would your plan be? Comment down below, and of course, thanks for watching.